Hey gang, this is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and real estate investing is made to look easy just to make a profit from you guys. And I want to share with you that anything that you want to do in life, you can do it. It doesn't matter if you want to be a real estate investor, you want to be an entrepreneur, etc. But nothing is easy, and you have to actually do work. So just by going to a couple of seminars or reading books, like today on my Facebook, I saw a guy, he had pictures of like this many books he had read, right? And same with me, I read like 60, I used to read 60 books a year. Just reading and going to the courses and getting the education doesn't mean anything because there's really three types of intelligence on planet Earth. The first intelligence is the intelligence of gathering the information, which is like going to school, reading the book, going to a seminar. It's just gathering the information. And many people are not even willing to gather the information because they're busy watching TV, going to sports, drinking with their buddies, or being distracted. Okay. So for you guys that actually go and gather the information, good for you. I'm proud of you. So that shows that you're intelligent. Okay. But that's just level one of intelligence. Level two of intelligence is what's called realization, which means the practice of what you learn. And majority of people are not don't have that type of intelligence to go ahead and practice what they learn. Okay, because it's hard, it's difficult. It's just like learning. You can read a book about how to lose weight, or you can read a book about going to the gym and reaching your goals. But to get to the practice level, majority of people fail. That's why gyms sell all the membership fees and hardly anyone comes in. 10-15% of the clientele come in. So there's three types of intelligence. So number one is learning the information, which majority of people don't do, and some elite people like yourself that are watching will gather the information. The level two of intelligence is called the practice, or the realization of it, where you actually take this information you learned and now you go and put it to apply. For example, you learn how to play piano and then you actually now go sit there and play piano, or you learn about a course and now you actually go in there and apply it. You learn about cold calling, now you actually get on the phones and make cold calls. And when it comes to the practice part, including myself and many of the people, we're not willing to do that. Okay. Now, the third level of intelligence is what was called contemplation, where you're thinking about it. Okay, you're thinking about what you've learned. You're thinking about what you just acted, your performance, and then you're evaluating better situations or better scenarios that you can do. Okay, and that's level three. And so the whole real estate business is based on the level one of intelligence, which is, to sell you on your lacks. What I call like, hey, you don't know how to fill out the paperwork. You don't know how to fill out the contract. You don't know what to say to a seller. You don't have a phone script. You don't know how to fill out this. You don't know how to do an exit strategy. You don't know how to do Y. You don't know how to do Z. And so on. Okay, and you don't know how to do mobile home investing. You don't know how to do subject to investing. You don't know how to do flicks and flips, sandwiches. And I could go on and on. There's so many things you don't know and I don't know, right? And so the whole aspect of this business is to make real estate look very simple, all right, to sell you the level one intelligence. And the problem is majority of people will fail because just getting the level one intelligence is not going to guarantee you success. Nothing guarantees you success in life, but your probability of increases by practice, by you getting into the ring and applying what you just read or what you just learned. Okay, that's why many of us graduate college and have a different job than what our degree says, because we weren't able to practice and get into the ring and to get our dream job that we wanted. And because it's hard, your friends may get a job faster than you do. You may have to wait longer. You might have to get a little lower paying job than what you demand to work your way up, or whatever the story is. Okay. So where am I going with this? If you want to learn how to do real estate, to learn just to read books, okay, there's so many other institutions out there where they charge you tons of money. Okay. And I do too. However, one of the great things with MrNoFluff.com is that we actually understand that to learn, you have to do. To learn, you have to act. And that's where some of my trainings is so different than other people because, for example, in the Alchemy Stones class that I have, we actually jump in there, we make your videos, we make your landing pages, we make your follow-up, we learn how to become a professional investigator to pull up the data from the sellers, their social media information, their email information, their phone numbers, their addresses, etc. Okay, how much they owe. We actually get in there and we actually roll those sleeves up and we start digging and building your business. Okay, same thing with the Abundance Club. When people join, like this week, me and Joe, what we did was we went and give offers to people right online. Okay, so there's a lot of seminars or REI clubs or buses that will show you potential that you can do, but I'd actually roll up my sleeve and roll up your sleeve, and we go do the potential. We don't just talk about it. We just say, look, here's some potential. We say, look, let's show you how to do this potential one-on-one. Okay, and that's why my students are able to make the big scores. Not everyone, because majority of people are in the E quadrant with Rich Dad Poor Dad in his book. If you haven't read that, you might want to get that. Majority of people are in the E quadrant, so it goes like this. You got E, S, B, I. And if you're in the E quadrant, for you to jump over the S quadrant and for you to jump over the B quadrant, instantly go to being an investor is almost impossible. Okay, and I don't want to say impossible because anything's possible. However, it's going to take significant amount of change from your internal processing to your internal emotions to your internal skills. And you have to change significantly. You have to change 4 quadrants. You got to go from the E to the S to the B to the I. So to go from here diagonally, it doesn't work. For me, the way I did it is I had a job in high school or junior high, and I realized having a job sucks. So I was instantly in the S quadrant. I did stuff for myself, like washing cars and doing personal trainings, whatever. I learned how to create systems, how to talk to sellers, how to cold call, how to close deals, how to follow up, how to create a brand, how to set up a website, so on. From the S quadrant, that I created systems, which I for my first company, the moving company, back in the early 2000s, okay, which I owned for 14, 15 years. From that, I learned how to manage a lot of people. I learned how to have multiple locations. I learned about how to have another business and then have people older than my grandparents work for me. And then from there, I learned real estate investing and being a landlord and creating owner financing notes and etc. Okay, so I traveled from the ESBI. But the whole sales pitch is that you can go from an E to an I. And the truth is, small percent of people can do it, to do that. The majority of people that are able to go have success to be in the I quadrant are the people that are in the B quadrant, because they already traveled most of the direction already. For example, it was easier for me to get into real estate because I've already owned the business for 14, 15 years. Okay, I already knew how to do bookkeeping. I already knew how to do marketing, how to do hiring, how to do all this stuff, how to, packaging my stuff. And therefore, when I went to go buy houses in the crash, okay, I knew how to talk to people, even though I never done it before. I knew how to negotiate, even though I never negotiated real estate before. I knew how to sell. I knew how to do follows, even though I'd never done real estate before. It was my very first time, but I knew it was a time to get in there because it was a crash. 2006 fourth quarter is when the major crash started happening. And then the side effect came a little bit later, or people call it 2006, 2007 crash. Anyways, point of the story is, if you're buying the education and you're not taking action, this is the reason you're not going to have success. You're going to need to take action. And it's hard to take action when there's not a feedback loop. And that's why a coach comes into play. That's why by you working with me, I can tell you what stuff you're doing wrong, what stuff you're doing right, and what stuff you're not doing at all to go ahead and do it. Because doing something wrong for a very long time, not having a feedback loop, results in you losing time, motivation, frustration, and usually quit. Okay, that's why when I used to have a personal training company, when my students came to me, I didn't just work them out like crazy, like every other trainer does, where they're so sore they wouldn't want to get up the next day to go to work. I wouldn't do it like that. I would do small little incremental stuff that change their body without them being sore forever, to boost their confidence, for them to go harder. The total opposite of what other trainers did. And that's what I carry over to the Mr. No Fluff, that I actually know how to be an actually coach and get what you want. You know exactly if it's the psychological aspect that you're lacking, or if it's the skill sets that you're lacking, or if it's the system stuff. I just ask you a couple of questions, and then I can identify, because I've done this, not because I read books, and I've read a lot of books, not because I've done it, which I've done a lot of different businesses, because I'm at the level 3 where I've done it, I've read it, and I'm contemplating, and I can ask anybody anything about their business and come up with solutions to take their business to the next level, not because of books, not because of some seminar I went to. It's because of the calluses that I had on my hands, and then rethinking about it and reevaluating to come up with better solutions. Okay. And one of the last thing I want to tell you is that Soraya told me the other day, she was reading the forum, and they were talking about this guy that had borrowed so much money to get into debt. And she was saying, like, this guy had borrowed so much money to get the first property got the second property, and now he's in debt hundreds and thousands of millions of dollars. And so many people on that forum wanted to follow that guy, you know, and she was just scratching her head. Okay, so again, it's easy to use cheesy money, easy money, fake money, right? It's easy to pump yourself with some steroids and get the results you want, but there's side effects associated with that, right? And the same thing with growing your business, or it's easy to go to a banker and they enslave you and you have 50 properties or 100 properties or whatever, okay? And then what other people do, they think that's success. Really, they're in debt. That's not success. Every business that I ever started, I started with $100. It was always debt free. Everything I did is through imagination, creativity. That's what I do. Powerful, you can do whatever you want if you live in a free country. Again, you are powerful. You can do whatever you want if you're living in one of these free countries. The very first thing is you have to just close your eyes, turn the TV off, turn the music off, and just sit there and realize what you want to do, right? And that's it. And then 2 is just go do it. You don't have to worry about all the thinking that happens that, hey, what if this happens, and what if this happens, and thinking about your future, thinking about your past. No, you just gotta go, dude, and that's all you gotta do. So is real estate hard? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is being an entrepreneur hard? Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's very, very hard. Okay. No joke. You can fail. You can fail in public. You can fail in your own privacy of your home, but it doesn't matter. You still fail. You can lose your money, right? You can go homeless. You can crack up, but you can also change your world. You can also change your family. You can also be your dreams. Okay. So when I was driving today, I listened to Pablo, the guy that wrote The Alchemist, and it made a lot of sense to me. Is that before, I felt like when I got into the ring to go pursue my dreams. So again, once I got into the ring to go pursue my dreams, my goal was just to knock the other person out, right? And if I didn't win, then I wasn't able to be my dreams. And what I really realized that today is that as long as I'm in the ring trying to pursue my dreams, it doesn't matter if my hand is raised or not, because I'm already winning. Everyone else is sitting there watching. So hear what I just said. If you're chasing your dreams, it doesn't matter if you're being it or not. It doesn't matter if you're the number 1 or number 2 or the number 100. It doesn't matter. Dude, you're in there doing what you want to do. Okay? And for that, you don't need any money, no credit, no banker, nothing. All you need is just you and the belief in yourself to be what you want to be. Thanks for watching Hustle and Bustle. Don't take no for an answer. By the way, if you want to join us every Saturday at our mastermind and roll up your sleeves and go do deals, whatever that is, to be your dreams, hit me up at the bottom. Thank you.